Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. $1 billion later, renovations are done, and the Oilers meeting the Rangers for the first of two meetings. Let's take a look at the starting goaltenders, brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL. Ben Scrivens takes on the Rangers in New York for the second time this season, first as an Oiler. It'll be his sixth start for Edmonton this season. And at the other end of the rink, 26-year-old Cam Talbot faces the Oilers for the first time in his career. This will be start number 15 for number 33. The Rangers coming off a 5-1 victory against Colorado here on Tuesday. The Oilers victorious in Buffalo on Monday. They won that game by the score of 3-2. This is game 3 of a 4-game road trip for the Oilers before the Olympic break. Sam Gagner, Jordan Eberle, and David Perron put together for this game. They will start this hockey game, and we are underway. Marincin and Petrie are the blue liners to start this one for Dallas Eakins. Benoit Pouliot on the near side, checked by Gagner. Pouliot along with Derek Brassard and Mats Zuccarello. This is Brassard. He is checked by Petrie, and Gagner comes back the other way. Sam Gagner gets double teamed right in front of the Ranger bench. The Oilers will play the Rangers again in Edmonton, but not until March the 30th. It is Nick Schultz and Justin Schultz on the blue line right now, and here's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Taylor Hall and their new line mate Nail Yakupov. Back the other way, first shot on, and that gets deflected up into the netting as we take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the 2014 Ford Super Duty. It's built Ford tough.
Well, for the Edmonton Oilers in this game tonight, Dallas Eakins talked a little bit about it this morning, being assertive in the defensive zone, making good decisions with and without the puck, and it's caused some trouble as far as extended time in the defensive zone, so they're going to have to be assertive in their defensive play. And for the Rangers, 20 for 60, much like the last game versus the Avalanche. Come out, roll four lines, Kevin. They've had these line combinations for a long time, and Alain Vigneault has been able to put these line combinations together because of healthy bodies back in the lineup. And when you have that consistency in your lineup, you start to build chemistry, and they've done just that. Played very well as of late.
They have not had a great time here at Madison Square Garden as they are ranked 21st at home. But remember, they started this season a long road stretch. As we take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. And we talked about the top two lines for the Edmonton Oilers making changes. Louis also talked about the New York Rangers and their consistency when it comes to their lines. The other scratch is Jesse Ioansu is out, and Ryan Jones is back in. Chris Kreider back to the point it comes, waiting for it there. The shot by Nash into the corner. Speaking of picking up their game lately, how about Rick Nash since being named to the Olympic team? Half of his 18 goals came after he was named to the Olympic team.
Yeah, pretty incredible. 9 goals since being named to Canada's Olympic team. As you mentioned, Kevin, 11 goals in his last 14 games. So pretty impressive the way he's turned things around, gotten fully healthy after that concussion, set him back for 17 games. Has found his scoring touch once again.
Stralman sends it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Brad Richards. He will give it back to Anton Stralman, who got a goal against Colorado, his first of the season, but a giveaway now. And then recovering before it got out of control there was Mark Stahl. And Mark Stahl, Louis, might not be having as much sleep as he used to have, as he's now a dad. Ryan Smith to Luke Gazdic. He will chip it in. Gazdic going after it. Talbot sends it around the boards. Long shot, and that one misses the target as it was let go by Moore. There are 2 Moores in this game. Dominic Moore, the center on this line, and John Moore is the defenseman wearing number 17. Talbot behind the net. Plays it on the far side. Boyle sees it go by him. Moving in now is Perron with a shot. Talbot the save, and it trickles into the net. The Oilers on the board first. It's 1-0. Ryan Smith was right there as the puck came down, and the Oilers on the board. 2:56 in.
And all from a turnover, Kevin. As you mentioned, just a little bit of a misplay here by the Rangers. They can't quite get a handle on this pass to the center. Is missed. Picked up by Perron. He gets it to the net. Ryan Smith crashes the net afterwards, and he somehow is able to shovel this one through. I guess it's that big paddle that he uses. He gets it down and is able to put up by Talbot early. So a good effective shift, not only on the forecheck, but to finish it off afterwards, and the Edmonton Oilers take a 1-0 lead.
Ryan Smith playing his 24th game against the New York Rangers in his career. And may have his 9th goal of the season against his career and 8th goal of the year. A bouncing puck in front. Pouliot goes between his legs, and Scrivens covers up and gets the save.
And that goal for Ryan Smith gives him .384 in his career, and that puts him in the top 100 all-time for goals, Kevin.
Janice Devenich of Edmonton's White Creek Club Card of the Apple Safeway and Post Cereal Shreddies. You have won the Men's Boulevard Marine Star Chronograph watch on the goal by Ryan Smith.
I think about 380 were from about 2 feet from the net. Loves to score in that blue paint. And does a good job to drive it through and drive it home there.
Came in without a goal in his last 4 games, but now has his 8th of the year at 20th point, and as Louis mentioned, finds himself in pretty elite company in the history of the National Hockey League. Fraser. He takes a hit from Callahan, the captain of the New York Rangers. Hendricks gets by John Moore. This is Matt Hendricks. Hendricks plays it down low for Gordon. Gordon to Hemsky. Ales Hemsky dances his way out of the corner, moving down his Ference as Hemsky's back at the blue line. Now he'll throw it towards the net. And Gordon providing the screen, but Talbot makes the save and he'll hang on.
Another good cycle down low, and another good puck to the net with traffic in front. Here's the goal again by Ryan Smith. You watch the high shot by Perron off the shoulder of Talbot. Can't find it. It drops right down to his left. And that big paddle comes through and jams it home. Perron was there too, but no question it was Ryan Smith that puts it home for goal 384.
And David Perron gets his 20th helper of the season. He now has 42 points and 3 assists in his last 2 games. And he, as Louis mentioned, was awful close to getting his 23rd goal of the season, just missed. Nash plays it off the boards, intended that for Kreider. Stepan going after it behind the net, but getting there first was Petrie. Back to the point. Here is Stahl through traffic, and Scrivens the save, and it's picked up by Hall. Hall to the middle for Nugent Hopkins. Now to Yakupov. Yakupov trying to get it by Mark Stahl. Getting there first was Kreider. Petrie pinches in, throws it deep, but back the other way. Come the New York Rangers, says Nash. We'll get it to Chris Kreider. Kreider, nice move around Marincin. Here is Kreider in deep, side of the net. And Kreider, the rookie, was tied for 5th in points. He has 30 on the season, 13 goals.
Yeah, big body Kreider is too. At 6'3", 226 pounds, can really get his feet moving. You saw him drive that there, and a good defensive play right at the end by, I believe, Marincin to get his stick in there.
Carcillo's stick snapped in half. He's going to have to go to the bench. Petrie under pressure, and here is Big Boyle. Brian Boyle gets knocked down, and the Oilers start away, and it's the goal scorer, Ryan Smith. Smith up the middle for Jones. Jones, Smith, and Gazdic, the 4th line for the Edmonton Oilers. This is Boyle back the other way. Boyle snaps his shot. Juggling save by Scrivens, but he'll cover it up. That's McDonough right there.
Well, a little bit of a transitional game developing here. Look at Kreider pump the legs here, go wide, and it was Petrie actually that got down and forced him to go a little wider than he wanted to. But at 6'3" and over 220 pounds, you can see how hard he is to handle, and that's something they want to see from him more often. Much like Rick Nash, for a big guy, he can work in small spaces, and a good drive to the net there.
3 points in his last 4 games for Brian Boyle, and you mentioned a big guy, 244 pounds. Derek Brassard taking the face-off against Sam Gagner. Oilers in control. This is Perron off the boards for Eberle. Eberle chips it by, but Stahl is there first. Perron's got it now, and he'll try and bounce that puck into Ranger territory. The Rangers, 2nd in the Metropolitan Division. They are 6th best in the East. Gagner with it now. Sam Gagner gets pinned against the boards. The puck comes loose, and it's picked up by Perron. David Perron hits the side of the net with that shot. Eberle is there. He gets stopped by Stahl, and Brassard comes back to help him out. Good play by Gagner to get it back to the point. This is Nick Schultz to Eberle. Eberle right up the middle comes Hall. Hall is checked before he could get down the center by Stahl. Zuccarello. Matt Zuccarello will go to the Olympics. He will play for Norway. One of 6-7 players for the New York Rangers that are going to the Olympics. Nugent Hopkins with it now. Here is Hall with a shot. Oh, a glove save by Talbot. And he covers it up. Ryan Smith celebrating his 9th career goal against the Rangers. It's 1-0.
Time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Marlon Richuck of Sturgeon County could win $1 million. Shop, swipe at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
13:37 to go here in the first period. The Rangers out shooting the Oilers 5-4, but it is the Oilers who have the goal, and it's Ryan Smith, 2 minutes 56 seconds into the contest. Gets his 8th goal of the year. The last time the Oilers were here was November 14th, 2010. They lost that game by the score of 8-2. And the last time they played the Rangers is 2011. That game in Edmonton, they won it by the score of 2-0. They are 1-5-2-2 in their last 10 trips to New York. Hall with it now. Hall centering pass for Nugent Hopkins. Had his stick lifted at the last second. Schultz, quick pass to Nugent Hopkins, and again he was checked, and this time it was by Dan Girardi. Oh, Nash fires it in. Scrivens a little trouble with it. Gets the puck to settle down. He'll play it to the corner. Kept in by Richards. Richards with a goal and an assist against Colorado. He leads this team along with Zuccarello in assists and points. They've both got 26 points, or 26 assists, 41 points.
If you drive on snow and ice, you don't want all-season tires. You want all-weather tires. Get Nokian's most advanced all-weather tire, the WRG3 at Cal Tire.
Kevin, we had a good talk with Ben Scrivens this morning. He was pretty talkative about the fact, that when he's in a big game and he had that big 59-save shutout against the San Jose Sharks last week, that it wasn't like he could just turn the mechanism off and kind of concentrate on the game. For the love of the game was the move we were talking to. It did actually happen in New York against the Yankees with Kevin Costner, but he said, for him, he just takes each shot as they come, prepares for the next one, and obviously it's working pretty well for him.
And it worked the last time he was here, November 17th, as a member of the LA Kings. He stopped every shot he faced. It was 37 that night in a victory over the New York Rangers.
A lot of questions about Scrivens this morning from the opposition, the New York Rangers, players and coaches alike. When you come in and you have a hot goaltender on the other side that's had some big games, they want to talk about him, they want to see how he's doing, and the New York Rangers are going to come into this game putting pucks to the net, getting bodies in front of Scrivens, and trying to get to him early. They've done that. A couple little squeaky ones get through.
6 shots so far. Jumping down is Moore from his defensive position. John Moore with the puck now. And back at the point, and the puck got by him, and it was Derek Brassard. Pouliot stopped neatly there by Jeff Petrie. Swept in by Hendricks. Talbot plays it himself. He'll get it to Moore. Moore will give it to his D partner. Picked up now by Zuccarello. He'll just dump that puck in. Marinchen's got it. Marinchen's heading to the Olympics in a couple of days as a member of Slovakia. Wraps it around the boards. Again, Talbot stops it behind the net. And it's Kevin Klein who has it. Kevin Klein joined this team on January 22nd. Traded from Nashville for Michael Del Zotto. Schultz with Jones. And offside the call as Ryan Smith was ahead of the play.
A nice little turnover there as Schultz gets up into the rush with Jones and Ryan Smith. And for Justin Schultz, we talked about him in the opening, Kevin, and how he's really progressed this year. Dallas Eakins likes the way he's playing 200 feet, and you're starting to see him play with a lot of confidence. And it's so important for an offensive player to know the time in which to jump up in the play, and that all comes from just being in the situations. And for Schultz, lately 3 goals in his last 5 games. He's been finding that opportunity to jump up and make the play and get the job done.
27 points last year as a rookie. 24 right now. He's on pace for 34 points. It's the 4th line on the ice now for the Oilers. Luke Gastic will give it to Ryan Smith. Smith trying to get it back to him. Broken up there by Girardi, but here is Ryan Jones with a shot, and Ryan Smith got knocked down in front by Dan Girardi. Kept in by Justin Schultz. Schultz on the near side, tied up there by Boyle. McDonough will give it to Girardi. Flips it high, and a race for it now with Dominic Moore. Moore gets there, but it is Schultz all over him. Daniel Carcillo from the corner. Carcillo trying to play it back, and there is Gazdic, and he takes a heavy hit from behind by Chris Kreider. Play continues. I think Luke Gazdic's going to take a number, as Kreider gave him a bump, but he is a big customer. He's 6'3", 226 pounds.
Yeah, caught him as he was turning, putting it off the boards, and just a little bit awkwardly went into the boards. No injury on the play. Gazdic was okay. Did take a little look back to see who it was that hit him.
Stepan players it around the boards. Hall waiting for it there. Hall to Nugent-Hopkins. Gets checked by Kreider. And now Nash trying to get loose. Marincin chips that puck, and it ends up going into the Oiler bench. Chris Kreider, 6'3", running into a guy that's 240 pounds. The Olympic freeze for trades is tomorrow at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, and these two guys have been in conversations for different reasons.
Yeah, some speculation today in the last little while about Sam Gagner potentially going to the Los Angeles Kings, and speculation at this point in time, Kevin, but always tough to take it for Ryan Callahan. Obviously, an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year, wants to get a deal done, and they kind of set the deadline for the Sochi Olympics freeze on the roster. Hasn't been done yet. They have till tomorrow to kind of get things sorted out with him, and we'll see what happens in both of them. But difficult for players in this situation during the middle of the season when you know your name's in the media, you know people are talking about you, and things are going to get done. But for Ryan Callahan, he came out last game, 2 goals and an assist in that one. And for Sam Gagner, has kept his play up as well. That's all you can do as a player, is just continue to keep playing for your team, play hard, and whatever happens, happens.
That freeze stays in effect until midnight, February 23rd. The trade deadline is March the 5th. Taylor Hall tied for 16th in the NHL in points. He's got 54 on the season. Just over 9 minutes left to go in this first period. The Oilers with a 1-0 lead. Here's Callahan trying to chip it by Barrett. Callahan, wrist shot, and that one missed on the glove side of Ben Scrivens. Callahan has it again. Callahan will give it to Richards. Richards centering pass, trying to set up Hagelin. Callahan with it now, being watched by Gagner. Callahan turns behind the net. He'll leave it there for Brad Richards. Richards. Callahan fires a shot up high. That one caught the stanchion, stays alive, and here's Richards again behind the net. This line is putting on some pressure. Callahan. Gagner tried to tie up Richards. Hagelin. Gagner watches him as he kicks the puck ahead to Richards. Gagner to the near side for Schultz. He'll get it to Eberle. Eberle trying to get it out. It hit Mark Stahl, went straight up in the air. And when the puck comes down, it's picked up by David Perron, but it was gloved ahead, and we've got a whistle.
I think, Kevin, we've talked about being assertive in the defensive zone and making good decisions with the puck. Taylor Hall turned it over initially before he went off in the last change. A turnover here by Jordan Eberle leads to an opportunity on the right-hand side by Callahan that misses. But more importantly, it's a long extended period of time in the defensive zone. So for Edmonton right now, they're getting a little bit too soft in that area, inside and outside their own blue line. And the New York Rangers are starting to pick those off and transition the other way. They'll have to be better.
Ryan Callahan, one of 3 New York Rangers who will play for the U.S. Olympic team. There's a hot shot off the stick of Derek Brassard. Brassard with it again. Brassard trying to funnel that puck out in front. It was broken up by Petrie. Derek Stepan and Ryan McDonough, the other U.S. Olympians. Zuccarello will represent Norway. That's Zuccarello. Under pressure there from Petrie. Zuccarello, 5'7", 179 pounds. I guess you can understand why he went undrafted. But right now, he's on a 4-game point streak.
It reminds me of another guy, very similar, small in stature, just named today to the Canadian Olympic team.
Finer shots, stopped by Scrivens.
In Marty St. Louis. Very compact build, strong legs, plays a little bit of a feisty game. And for Zuccarello is one of those guys. I watched him in the morning skate this morning. He was whacking, hacking guys, just stirring the pot out there. But you love to see that energy, and he brings it to every shift.
And he's a fan favorite here. You'll hear him chant Zook whenever he touches the puck. Great opportunity now for Jones, moving in against Dan Girardi. Gets to the puck first, ahead of number 5. Here is Jones to Smith. Smith's got Gazdic out in front, hacking and whacking. A bouncing puck back to the point. Good job by Fraser to keep it in, but then Schultz could not. Nick Schultz, and it's going to be an offside.
I like the fact that this line, though, for Edmonton chipped the puck in deep and got in and grinded it away. We look at Matt Zuccarello again. The little Norwegian, as Dallas Eakins looks on. And, you know, for Zuccarello having a career year this year, really broke out, as you talked about, Kevin. Has really found his stride this year. And for the Rangers, is just starting to put up big numbers, and they like to see that. 41 points on the year for him, which is tied for the lead of the team.
Hall in the corner. Nugent Hopkins trying to get away from Callahan. Can't do it. Hagelin behind the net. Hagelin's got Richards in front, being watched there by Fraser. Now he'll go behind the cage and get knocked down as the puck comes to the center. And look at Fraser. He took two guys with him. Yakupov inside the blue line. To Hall. Hall with a wrist shot. Gets deflected up by Callahan. Then it comes right back down to Hall. Hall centering pass. Quick shot. And that one from the stick of Nail Yakupov misses the target. Andrew Ference will give it to Yakupov. Moving in is David Perron. Perron slips the check of Stralman. Yakupov with it now. Yakupov back to the point to Ference through traffic, and that one goes wide. Anton Stralman, his pass intercepted by Yakupov. Yakupov checked by Callahan. The puck comes outside the blue line, and the Oilers will have to regroup.
Good shift by that line, Kevin. All created off the speed on the attack. A little transition down the ice, and it was Yakupov that had a real dandy opportunity in the slot. Had a little more time than he thought he had.
Nail Yakupov with 4 points in his last 5 games. Rangers coming back. Wrist shot right on to Scrivens. He was bumped into. That might have been Schultz who gave him a bump. But he made the save, and he'll hang on. Rogers Oilers hockey from New York City.
Well, look at the captains for tonight's game. Andrew Ference and Ryan Callahan. And Andrew Ference decided to sign with the Edmonton Oilers. And Callahan, as Louis and Kevin mentioned, is potentially on the trading block. Trading your captain seems like a potentially big deal, and it has been, but teams have decided to trade captains in the past. Boston in 2005, that was a big one. The New York Rangers have previously traded their captain, Brad Park, and the Edmonton Oilers once traded Mark Messier to the New York Rangers. And they threw, just to make it reasonably fair, they threw in Bernie Nichols and Stephen Rice with Louis DeBrusk.
He was the target.
Yeah, the one they wanted.
Louis, you didn't play much here, but they kind of liked you with the Gallery Gods.
The Gallery Gods, they love physical, tough guys here, no question about it. They treated me really well. And
Scrivens,
the old Garden, that is. The old Garden,
Yeah.
You know what, there was some fisticuffs up in the stands even, you know, when we played the Islanders in exhibition. I only did get to play exhibition games. That was a tricky one for Scrivens there. But it just has always had that atmosphere here at the Gardens, and the fans are passionate. They love to get into the game here in New York. And they have their favorites down there. As you mentioned, Zuccarello is a guy they'll cheer Zook every time he does something out there on the ice they like.
Now they've been calling him Captain Cali. It sounds like if they had their way, Ryan Callahan would get the money he wants and would stay here. Boyd Gordon now with the puck. He is going one-on-one against Girardi. A shot goes wide. And then it's sent to an open wing by Zuccarello. And the Oilers will pick it up. 9-6. The shots favor the Rangers with 4.5 minutes to go in this first period. The Rangers out hitting the Oilers right now. 9-6. Girardi checked by Hemsky. Hendricks tied up there by Dominic Moore. Puck still alive. Boyd Gordon trying to get to it. He does get it free. It does come back to the point. And unable to keep it in there was Fraser. And Mark Fraser was awful close to keeping that puck in. Just couldn't quite do it.
Martin Nuque there as well, as he just kind of couldn't get a handle on it here. Stopped and took a look up. And you could see the stick he felt was broken in his hand. So he's switching it up for a new one. But almost kept it in with the skate. It didn't go out by very much, but certainly did cross the line.
Played 11 minutes and 59 seconds in the game against Buffalo. Had 2 hits and 2 blocked shots. Allman fires it in. Scrivens stops that neatly. Gets it around for the captain, Ference. He'll play it high. Eberle waiting for it. It's cleared away by Sam Gagner. And back to pick it up is Anton Stralman. Former draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who went in the 7th round in 2005. Moore. Dominic Moore snaps the shot. Scrivens the save. Big rebound for Boyle. Ends up on the stick of Jordan Eberle as he starts away. He's got Perron with him. Eberle chips it in. He'll go after it himself. Plays it behind the net. Cleared by Perron. Gagne played it back to the point, but the Oilers' blue liners were changing. And now both teams will change up, and the fourth line is up there for the Oilers. This is Ryan Smith, the goal scorer. Justin Schultz gets it back to Nick Schultz. Schultz for Gazdic. Takes a hit there from Klein and comes to Smith. A weak shot handled easily by Talbot. He'll get the whistle.
This is the famous Sunday sofa where the big ticket was hatched. We've carefully preserved every stain.
Pick your winners today with Pools.
Now the Oilers are used to playing close games. A 3-2 victory in Buffalo. They have now played 21 one-goal games. They are 7-8-6 in those situations. It's a one-goal game right now with just over 3 minutes left to go in the first period. Kreider does a button hook, plays it behind the net. Derek Stepan is there. Checked by Nugent Hopkins. Stays with it, gets it to Nash. Nash with a wrist shot through traffic. Into the corner it goes. Justin Schultz plays it around the boards. Hall waiting for it. Taylor Hall can't get started. Nick Schultz will give it back to Justin Schultz, and Schultz will play it to the middle, and with some speed is Hopkins. He'll give it to Hall. Checked by Girardi, cleared away by Talbot. Yakupov with it now to Hall. It gets by him, but Nugent Hopkins is there on the far side. Checked by Richards, gets the puck to Hall. Hall right out in front, and it just got by Yakupov. Yakupov with it now. Here's Yakupov moving in, snaps a shot. Talbot the save. Yakupov gets knocked down. He took the puck with him. Callahan to Richards. Gets it back again. The captain of the New York Rangers moving in against Marincin. He goes wide, tries to backhand it, and Scrivens stayed with it. A tricky little play there by Ryan Callahan. Pass for Marincin, too far for him. We saw Callahan go wide on Marincin and beat him the last time, Louis, but this most recent opportunity, the kid went to school and wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah, nice job by him to stay with him. A real good backtrack by Taylor Hall to be right in position as he tried to throw that puck back out into the slot area. A good 200-foot drive by Hall to get back into the defensive zone and break it up.
Fraser under pressure there from Pouliot. Gets it to Ferentz. Ferentz bounces it for Jones. He had John Moore all over him. Line waits. He'll give it to Moore. Moore. Pouliot throws it to the middle. Picked off there by Gordon. Backhand by Jones goes wide.
I tell you, the Oilers right now, Kevin, are giving the New York Rangers fits in the defensive zone. Good pressure on the puck. Good physical play down low. They turned over some pucks and kept the play alive a little bit more here in the second half of this first period.
A period that has just a minute left in it. Now a 2-on-1 developing. Zuccarello moving in. Zuccarello shot! And a good save by Scrivens as he got a piece. The 10th shot of the period for the New York Rangers. Zuccarello with 15 goals on the season. Chopped in by Hemsky. And Cam Talbot will stop it in behind the net. Stralman. He is with Stalls. He goes right up the middle. Step on. Ditches off for Nash. Nash against Eberle. Gagne in there to help out. Played it off the glass. Kept in, though, by Anton Stralman. And now the Oilers able to come away, and this is Perron. David Perron. A little help from Eberle. The puck cleared into the corner. We're down to just 10 seconds. Nash takes his time. Nash has got Stepan in front. Hangs onto it. Drop pass for Stahl. Trying to get a shot away before the horn goes. But they won't be able to do it.
Well, a good start here, Kevin, by the Edmonton Oilers to come out, get the 1-0 lead, protect it through 20 minutes, and carry it over. When you're on the road, especially at MSG, a team that's played very well here, not a bad start.
A good road period for the Edmonton Oilers. They do get outshot, but they get the only goal, and it happens just 2:56 in, Darren.
Love Ben Scrivens being the last guy off the ice, making sure everybody knows that they played a strong period. Of course, Edmonton coming off a win in Western New York. The eastern side of the state has been very good so far. A period in which Nail Yakupov and Taylor Hall both had strong presence. The old guys producing the goal, however. Marty McSorley's next on Rogers Oilers Hockey.
Scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Court, where the Edmonton Oilers find themselves in New York. But wherever you are, visit WorleyParsons.com/careers to find your place on our team. And Ryan Smith has a place in the Edmonton Oilers team, and that's scoring goals, which he did. And Edmonton leads 1-0 after one period of play. Well, the Edmonton Oilers were one of 27 teams unofficially that made a play for Justin Schultz in 2012. July 1st, he signed with the Oilers, but there is a team that tried to woo Justin Schultz in a few different ways. It wasn't an iPad mini, but it was an iPad, and it was given to him by, that's the team. The New York Rangers went hard after Justin Schultz. When he was in Toronto at his agent's offices, they brought in John Tortorella to spend some time with him. Then they stepped up their game even more from there. Yeah, the Moose, Mark Messier, also had a chance to meet with Justin Schultz. Schultz was certainly impressed by what the Rangers had to offer. They were in his top five, but he decided to go with the Edmonton Oilers. As for the iPad, it went to his parents. I guess Mr. and Mrs. Schultz had their iPad on it.
And he played a lot in that first period, Gene. 9 minutes and 44 seconds. Led everybody. He has been averaging just over 23 minutes a game. And he's on pace for a little bit more than that tonight as the second period gets underway. The Oilers with a 1-0 lead as Ryan Smith, 2:56 in.
Zuccarello and Perron went at it.
And right off the hop, it is Zuccarello who sets up Brassard. And the Rangers have tied the game 22 seconds into the period.
And I got to tell you, Kevin, I think this should have been whistled down. There should have been coincidental penalties called here. David Perron and Zuccarello just went right at it. But this is that control in the defensive zone, making good plays. A turnover not handled. One pass, one-timer in the back of the net. And a good job by the Rangers to set this up. But Zuccarello over to Brassard. He rips it home on the one-timer. And ties this game 1-1 very early in this second period. We talked about being assertive in the defensive zone, making good decisions with the puck. That one doesn't get out, ends up in the back of their net.
Derek Brassard is on a 5-game point streak that has produced 7 points as he gets his 11th goal of the season. Louis, you talked about penalties not being called in that situation. No power plays for either team in the first period.
It was a pretty calm first 20 minutes. There wasn't a whole lot of opportunities, I don't think, for referees to make calls. Maybe a couple. The Kreider hit on Gazik was a little suspect, and there might have been a couple sticking infractions down low, but he let them play. Both referees let them play in that first 20. And it continues into the second.
Brassard on a 5-game point streak, so is Matt Zuccarello. Hammered from the point by Girardi. Hall racing after it. McDonough gets there first. Ryan McDonough drops it back for Girardi under pressure from Hall, who takes him into the boards. Kreider is checked by Yakupov. Zuccarello gets his 27th assist of the season. He leads the team now in that department. And Pouliot gets the other helper. Benoit Pouliot with 12 assists on the year. And it comes just 22 seconds into the period. The Oilers scored 32 seconds into the game in that game against Buffalo. Now a giveaway. Moving in, Girardi trying to slide it home, and it goes just wide as he was set up by Hagelin. Back to the point it comes. Moore with a shot, and that gets deflected wide. Gordon chops it to the corner. Hemsky can't get it out as the captain keeps it in. Hagelin tied up there by Petrie, and a shot goes off Marincin as Callahan let it go. But again, the Rangers coming out strong in this second period. Hemsky now with an opportunity. Cut off there by Kevin Klein. Brad Richards will bring it right back in. Gives it to Callahan. Callahan trying to make a move around the rookie Marincin. He would have none of it. Richards back to the blue line. The Rangers making changes. Here's a shot from Stahl. Handled by Scrivens with Boyle right there. He juggled it. The whistle goes. And Brad Scrivens saw Callahan bearing down on him as the puck squirted free.
Some good buzzing by the Rangers again. As you talked about, turnover starting to hurt the Oilers here again. Just having to go into that defensive shell. Big Boyle in front just kind of stands his ground. Scrivens has the puck as Callahan drives the blue paint, but it's hard to find him. So a good shot through by Mark Stahl to get that puck through the traffic onto the net, and a better save by Scrivens to hold on to it.
That scoring line for the Rangers is out there again. Zuccarello with the puck now. He'll play it back to the point. Stepped into a shot to Stralman, and he ripped it wide. Kept in by Stahl. Gagne sends it down the ice, and it's picked up there by Mark Stahl. He'll give it to Anton Stralman. Get it right back again. Stahl pass too far for Pouliot, and will come back down on the icing call against the Rangers.
Well, no question about it. The New York Rangers have come out in this second period with a little bit more intensity. For Edmonton right now, they're going to have to match up. They're going to have to come out, get some pucks into the offensive zone, cycle down low, do the things they did in the second period, especially late in the second period, that made them successful and allowed them to spend some quality time with the puck in the offensive zone. Because right now, they're turning pucks over, and for the Rangers, they're feasting off of them.
Rangers playing in their franchise's 6,000th game. Their first game in November of 1926. They won that game by the score of 1-0 by beating a team from Montreal, not the Canadiens. It was the Maroons. We'll have much more on that a little later on as Yakupov dances into the zone, stops up, feeds Hall, trying to go to the forehand. He does. The shot stopped by Talbot. Back to Marincin at the point. Nugent-Hopkins, Yakupov, and Hall with it now. This is Nugent-Hopkins. Throws it towards the net. That one didn't make it through. And back the other way as the Oilers make a change on D. And it chipped in by Moore. Good play by Nugent-Hopkins to come back defensively. McDonough chops it in. Moore is trapped on the offside. Petrie. Moore gets it right back again. He cleared the zone. He may be a little bit tired. Marincin gets away from Boyle, feeds Hall. Hall cuts to the middle, across the blue line. Hall carries on against McDonough. McDonough, good defensive recovery, but there is Ryan Smith to keep it in for the Oilers. Now he'll turn it over, and it's picked up by McDonough. Ryan McDonough gets to the red line, snaps that puck around the boards, waiting for it there. Derek Stepan gets by him and erases on. Ryan Jones beat to the puck there by McDonough. McDonough, another one of those guys that's going to the Olympics for the United States. Fraser. Right up the middle, too strong a pass for Ryan Smith. But Fraser will get that puck back again as the Oilers make a change. Andrew Ferentz had an assist against Buffalo, playing in his 35th career game against the New York Rangers, and no team has played more games against the New York Rangers than the Boston Bruins, Ferentz's old team. Moore checks Eberle. Gagne with it now. He'll get it to Eberle. Hops over his stick, but racing in is Nick Schultz to Gagne. Sam Gagne. Eberle's out in front. Can he get to the puck ahead of Moore? Right out in front it comes. Perron was a little bit late. This line keeping it in. Perron behind the net. The second line with pressure. Perron with a backhand shot, and that one caught a piece of the crossbar and goes out of play.
This period brought to you by McCain's new 4-meat Rising Crust Pizza. McCain, it's all good.
And Kevin, a much better shift by the Oilers in that last one. Just the line getting the puck in deep. Gagne with Perron. And Gagne, Perron, and Eberle just cycling it down low, not giving the puck away, supporting one another. Eventually it's Perron that walks out. Good wicked wrister on the backhand side there to ring it off the bar.
Perron with 22 goals on the season. 10 of them have come on the road. Stralman keeps it in at the point. The third line is on the ice now for the Oilers. Richards against Justin Schultz. Hagelin from the corner without his stick runs into Boyd Gordon. Gets the stick back again. The Oilers get possession, and it's Hendricks who flips it out. Hemsky waiting for it. It was behind him. And it's picked up by Anton Stralman. Hagelin's pass picked off by Gordon as Callahan bumps into number 27. Richards with it now. Richards moves to the middle. Callahan fires a shot through traffic, steered aside by Chris Scrivens, and it came off the end boards right to him. Yakupov picks it up. Yakupov gets some help, but he cuts in by himself. Hall over the boards along with Nugent Hopkins. Marincin to Nugent Hopkins. He is checked by Zuccarello. Hall with it now on the near side. Zuccarello to Pouliot, chipped and off the glass, but stays in play. Marincin under pressure now from Brassard as he centered it out in front. And the Oilers start away. Here's Yakupov with Hall and Petrie. Yakupov back check there by Benoit Pouliot.
Great back check by Pouliot. Looked like a 2-on-1 the whole way. He just stays with it and denies Yakupov from getting that puck to Hall with speed.
Zuccarello. And offside is Benoit Pouliot. Rogers Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet.
Now it's time to live the game with the new windows, and the games have begun in Sochi. The Olympic Games, even though the opening ceremonies will be tomorrow, and a lot of Canadians will be focused on so many athletes, including the Canadian men's Olympic hockey team, and Martin St. Louis. Whatever plans he had over the Olympic break will be changed, that he has been added to the squad to replace Steven Stamkos. Live the game with the new windows, one device for everything in your life. There was some talk, guys, about Rick Nash making the team, and if he had maybe earned it. Well, you guys discussed his numbers lately. He certainly has for Canada.
13 games since that announcement, and he's picked up 9 goals, Gene. He's got 18 on the season. He leads the team in goals.
That's a stretch of 11 and 11 before going pointless in the last 3 games for the Rangers. So I'd say he's kind of sent a message to the National Hockey League that he's ready for Sochi.
Now he denies he said it was just a coincidence. He said, I've been to 2 Olympics. I'm not really worried about it if I wasn't named to the team. But he said he was just playing freer right now, and he loves playing on the big ice, loves international hockey. And he will be in Russia. The Rangers have one more game. They're in Pittsburgh on Friday, and then a couple of charter planes will leave from New York, one from Atlanta, to take the Olympians to Russia.
Well, you know, I think a healthy, motivated Rick Nash is on everybody's Team Canada, and that was the big question for Nash. Number 1, would he be healthy with the concussion that he suffered? Number 2, would he be motivated? When this guy decides that he wants to play, as Alain Vigneault was saying this morning, with a big, skilled game, he's almost unstoppable. You can't stop him from going to your net, and you know, Team Canada's hoping he can bring that energy, bring that passion, and bring that high level of skill that he has into the Olympics. And hey, I think he can do it.
7-time 30-goal scorer.
And he was a London Knight too, so I got to kind of cheer for him.
Absolutely. The second best London Knight. Stahl racing against Schultz, and Stahl got there first. And back the other way comes Girardi. Callahan with it now, centering it out in front for Richards, and Richards could not get the shot away. And then Callahan runs into Yakupov. Hall with a nice move around Stralman, got tripped up. Play continues. As we mentioned, we have not had a power play in this game so far, as Brad Richards goes cross-side. Stralman's shot stopped by Scrivens, and he'll hang on to it.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
Kevin, again, another chance here by the New York Rangers with bodies driving through. Great drive by Richards wide on the backhand side. Can't quite get a handle on that pass. But anytime they've transitioned, they've had bodies driving to the far post and somebody going to the net as well. And that one there, it looked like it was right on the tape, just couldn't handle it. And then Hall came down the other way. And for Edmonton right now, giving the puck back. And it's not necessarily just throwing the puck away. They're thinking bodies are there. They're not taking a look, not holding on to it. And as a result, New York's getting chances.
Brassard with the puck now. He'll play it back to McDonough through traffic. That one goes wide. Zuccarello with it now. Stralman going down low. Throws it towards the net. That one misses. Brassard with it. He'll play it back to the point. Zuccarello waits, and then it goes off Gordon into the corner. Klein can't keep it in. Henricks with it now. Matt Henricks will give it to Boyd Gordon. Boyd Gordon crosses the line, lets a shot go, and Talbot steers that aside. The Rangers with 19 shots, the Oilers with 9.
Yeah, certainly not enough in this second for the Edmonton Oilers. Only 1 shot so far, as you mentioned now, too. They just added that one there, but have to find a way to get more pucks to Cam Talbot with the score 1-1, and it just has to be that urgency to get more shots to the net, more bodies there, and looking for rebounds. And for the Rangers right now, Kevin, they're just doing a good job in the offensive zone, but Edmonton's giving them a little too much time. Anytime they have the puck, they have too much time with it. And for Edmonton right now, collapsing down, trying to take lanes away, trying to take shots away, but it gives the Rangers time to set up, move their bodies around, and find opportunities. A couple real near misses. That one there didn't miss by much through the blue paint. This one here, a body in front once again. It creates chaos, and for Edmonton, a little more assertive like we talked about in the defensive zone, breaking those plays up a little quicker and getting the puck out of your zone that much faster and going on the attack.
The Rangers outshot Colorado 20-4 in the first period of that game on Tuesday. Ended up with 43 shots and that 5-1 victory. Gagne gets pinned against the boards by Dan Girardi, fights him off, plays it behind the net, gets it back again to Eberle. McDonough. Pass leaves the zone and Marincin will chase it down. Martin Marincin. Marincin finds Perron. David Perron moving in with Eberle. Drop pass for Marincin. And Carcillo chopped the stick out of his hands and a penalty coming up. 6 attackers out there for the Oilers. The first power play of this game will go the way of the Oilers, as Dan Carcillo knocked the stick right out of the rookie's hands. We come back. The Oilers with the man advantage.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Post Cereal Shreddies.
Dan Carcillo in the box, 2 minutes for slashing the stick out of the hands of Martin Marincin, who jumped up in the play. Here it is here. Drop pass back to him before it even gets to him. Carcillo knocks the stick out pretty aggressively. So the first power play of this game, Kevin, goes to the Edmonton Oilers as the ice crew quickly gets off the ice just in time.
The Oilers were 0 for 5 against Buffalo on Monday.
Sign that guy up. He's fast.
The power play has been a sore point for the Edmonton Oilers. They practiced it in the morning skate. And they've got Gagne, Eberle, Smith, Perron, and Schultz to start it off. Justin Schultz, the lone defenseman. Ryan Smith has parked himself in front as the puck comes back to Schultz. Now the near side for Perron. Perron right out in the middle. Looking for Gagne. Here is Smith banging away a couple of cracks at it. The second one goes wide. Schultz from the point. Lets it go. Deflected by Gagne. Right back to Schultz. Eberle now. Eberle to Smith. Back to Eberle. Back to the point. Schultz has got it. He'll give it to Eberle. Walks in. Eberle wrist shot. And Talbot looking for it. They bang it home. The whistle may have gone. There was a delayed reaction. It's been waved off. And this happened to the Buffalo Sabres as well in that game on Monday. The Oilers had thought they scored.
And everybody lost sight of this puck with the exception of a couple of the Oilers crashing into the net. Great puck movement, a couple shot opportunities, and we'll listen here to see when this whistle goes. The shot is taken. And boy, I'll tell you what, Kevin, that was right when that puck was trickling through Talbot as he kind of went down, made the save. Ryan Smith banging away, and that is close there. But again, it's the intent to blow the whistle by the referee. He made the call on the ice of no goal, so much like the game in Buffalo, I think this one will still stand as a no goal for Edmonton, but I like the energy brought out in this power play unit, and for Dallas Eakins making some shuffling in that department as well. Hasn't been happy with the power play, decided he wanted to go with 2 lines, and the line of Gagne, Perron, and Eberle started off with Smith in front and Schultz in the back end.
Chris Lee is on the headset back to Toronto. Dan O'Halloran is talking to Callahan and Smith as Dallas Eakins would love to see his power play connect as we listen again and listen for the whistle.
I'll tell you, that's really close.
We saw in the game against Buffalo, and it worked for the Oilers, it's the intent to blow the whistle.
And that's the thing, too. You know, obviously the referee had lost sight of the puck. There was no question about that. Dan O'Halloran and Chris Lee, the 2 referees tonight. And when they lose sight of the puck, they want to blow the whistle. So it's that motion going to the mouth to blow the whistle. In the process, the puck goes through, and it was really close. I couldn't really tell from those 2 replays if it had indeed crossed the line before the whistle went. it's right there, but I still do believe it's going to be whether or not he intended to blow that whistle before it crossed the line. Well, so we'll see what they say.
Cam Talbot certainly lost sight of the puck. And now let's see.
On the ice stands, and there's no goal in play.
And I think it's the right call. You know, again, it's all the people, all the bodies in that blue paint. Everybody loses it. Kind of stood up. Now, I'm not agreeing with the call in the first place. I think that the fact that he wants to stay with his call, I think that puck still was up for grabs. I just think they lost sight of it. The whistle was blown, and it was definitely the intent before it went over the line.
A minute 22 of power play time for the Oilers. The first power play in this game. Eberle can't keep it in. Now an opportunity for Callahan. Shorthanded. Callahan moving in. Waits. Oh, what a save by Scrivens as he robbed Callahan. The Oilers almost gave up their 11th shorthanded goal of the season. Gagne gets knocked down there by Stahl. Perron keeps it into the point for Schultz. He'll give it to Eberle. Snips a shot, and that one goes wide. Now Callahan picks it up. Callahan one more time shorthanded. He's got Moore going to the net. The backhand is there. Moore gets knocked down by Perron. As he heads to the bench, Perron picks up the puck. 40 seconds left to go, and the penalty to Carcillo. Ales Hemsky with it now. Across the blue line, he will hold on to it. Nugent Hopkins walks down the Broadway and lets a shot go. Pad save by Talbot. Yakupov to Nugent Hopkins. All the way back to the point. Schultz is waiting for it there. Schultz will stay out there with both units. Yakupov to the middle for Hall. The return pass eludes Yakupov. And it's picked up there by Ryan McDonough, and McDonough fires it down the ice.
They want to get the puck over the left-hand side with this unit here. Nugent Hopkins will set it up. We'll have two options in Hall and Yakupov for the one-time shot, left-handed shots. And that one there, you saw Yakupov maybe forced the pass into Hall a little bit, and he couldn't quite handle it.
Nugent Hopkins with it now. 3 shots for the Oilers on that power play. Hall snaps a shot that comes loose, and there is Carcillo out of the penalty box. He's got the puck. Good defensive player by Petrie as he took it away from Nash. Nugent Hopkins with Hall driving to the front of the cage. Nugent Hopkins gets surrounded by blue shirts. And it's chipped out for Rick Nash. Nash, stick knocked out of his hands by Jeff Petrie. And winding up now, Ryan Jones chips it ahead for Boyd Gordon. Sweeps it to Matt Hendricks. Hendricks trying to get it in against Kevin Klein. And that puck eventually goes out of play.
Kevin, the Oilers maybe forcing a little bit on the first man advantage of the game. And here just a little broken play. Get puck watching a little bit off to the races. Callahan goes. Good read by him as he just punches through. Makes a great deke, but even a better save by Scrivens to stay with him and stretch out that left pad and deny him on the post.
19 saves for Ben Scrivens so far. 6:45 to go in the second period. We're tied at 1. Boyd Gordon to Matt Hendricks. Hendricks dumps it in, and it's picked up there by Moore. He'll drop it back for Zuccarello. Flying is Brassard. Moore, his shot goes wide. It got by Pouliot, and back the other way comes Gazdic. Luke Gazdic with Ryan Smith. Gazdic drops it for Smith. Smith with the backhand doesn't make it through. Gazdic able to keep it in. A good defensive play there. Out in front it comes. Jones tried to feed Smith, and it was cleared away by Zuccarello. Jones, Gazdic, and Smith. Good pressure here. And now it's bounced off the glass by the man who does it twice, and that is Kevin Klein. Justin Schultz takes a look, takes a bump there from Callahan. Callahan with 7 hits against Colorado. Came in with 118 of them. Gazdic with it again. Tipped it ahead for Eberle. Eberle against Stahl. Richards comes in to help Stahl, and he does get it out across the line. And Nick Schultz sends it right back in. Talbot will leave it there for Strallman. Wraps it around the boards. Hagelin with Richards and Callahan. This is Richards' cross-ice pass, neatly picked off there by Marincin. He'll give it to Perron. Perron moving in one-on-one against Stroman. Drops it back for Gagne. Gagne for Marincin. He couldn't get a shot away. It was prevented from doing that by Brad Richards. Hagelin will give it to Richards down the right side. Wraps it in. Scrivens slows it down for Jeff Petrie. Petrie sweeps it for Marincin. Comes around the boards, picked up by Gagne. That puck goes straight up in the air, and when it comes down, Jordan Eberle's got it. Eberle. Pass intended for Gagne, too far for him. Dan Girardi has it. The Rangers have 20 shots, the Oilers with 17. Petrie chased back into his own zone. Kreider watching him. Taylor Hall now winds up. Hall, nice pass to Yakupov. Nail Yakupov. He snaps a shot from a sharp angle, and Talbot makes the save. He'll squeeze it with Nugent Hopkins right there. It's Rogers Oilers Hockey from the Big Apple.
The Goals for Heroes program is proudly sponsored by Cenovus. For every Oilers goal this season, Cenovus will donate $400 to Valor Place Military Family Support House. To date, the Oilers have scored 151 goals for a total of $60,400.
4 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the second period. A 1-1 game. The Rangers have fired 20 shots at Ben Scrivens. The Oilers 18 at Cam Talbot.
And Ryan Smith with almost his second goal of the game there on that last little play. Good driving through, had a good backhand, had a good redirection on the man advantage. Sniffing around.
Nash with it now. Chris Kreider is stopped. He gets the puck back again. Nash, Stepan, and Kreider, the forward line. This is Derek Stepan looking for Kreider. Good defensive play there by Nugent Hopkins. And Louis, we have said that more and more this year.
No question. Great positioning by Hopkins, but also a real quick stick to pick that off. Right there again, just like he's done so many times stealing the puck.
And he goes right after the rebound as it went off the glove of Talbot. Hall let the shot go, and Nugent Hopkins was almost there. Hall with a great defensive play. Nugent Hopkins with it now. Nugent Hopkins stays with it. And he was checked by Stepan and Kreider. As the puck comes out to center, Jeff Petrie. Petrie to Eberle, but Hall not able to clear the zone.
If you're looking for commercial insurance or risk management services, contact us to see what the power of insight can do for you.
Well, Kevin, the Oilers need a little bit more of this, and a real solid shift for Ryan Nugent Hopkins. The first play in the defensive zone. This one here on the backtrack gives it to Hall with speed. And then Hall picks one off as well as he gets in aggressively on the forecheck. Every time the Oilers have gotten pucks in deep, have established that forecheck, have aggressively pursued the puck, they've gotten it back and gotten chances. So maybe something they want to do a little bit more.
Eberle sends it around the boards, picked off there by Stralman. The scoring line for the Rangers, and the scorer, Derek Brassard, with the puck, throws it through traffic off Gagne into the corner. The Oilers #1 at blocking shots on the road in the NHL. Marincin to Petrie. Petrie intercepted there by Brassard. Petrie gets it back again. He'll give it to Marincin. Marincin checked by Pouliot. And the Rangers putting on pressure. Zuccarello digging for it. Perron lost it to Pouliot, and it comes right back. As Pouliot made a good play to get the puck centered, but nobody home.
And again, a little turnover in the defensive zone as Petrie just looks up, thinks he has an option. That quick pressure by the Rangers just forces him to make that play a little quicker than he wants to. As a result, it turns over, and it's another opportunity. So the same thing we were talking about down at the other end, as Petrie looks up, and you know, he knows here. He gets his puck. Good play by Marincin. A little reversal to go behind the net. Gives it to Petrie. He has some time here. He takes a look. That little pass he tries to make to the middle. Good offensive play by the Rangers. Getting aggressively on the forecheck. Pick that off. When they go tape to tape, they look great. When they don't, it's a big turnover in the defensive zone.
The coach gives you a look. Deflected there by Moore, and Scrivens made the save.
And I'll tell you, it's a fine line, Kevin. It really is. You know, those passes that get through, the passes that don't. But when you have teams that take that time and space way more often than not, they create those turnovers.
And the goalie bails you out. Here is Boyle with a backhand, kicked aside by Scrivens. He's looking for the rebound. What an opportunity for the Rangers. But Ben Scrivens stands tall. He has now made 22 saves. And he keeps it a 1-1 game with under 2 minutes to go in the period.
A couple huge saves by Scrivens and an opportunity for Hemsky to get the puck in deep right after, and he doesn't. And that's really starting to add up. It's compounding towards these chances against for the Edmonton Oilers, and a couple huge saves right there again in the defensive zone. Scrivens comes up with it. He loses a couple of them, gets lucky maybe on the one, but he stays in the fight, keeps it a 1-1 game. And for the Oilers, they have to start responding with attacking the other way.
He faced 41 shots in his last start. That was February 1st in Boston to kick off this road trip. A road trip that will wrap up tomorrow in New Jersey, and we'll have that game for you. The Oilers are 3-6 in the first half of back-to-back games. Yakupov with it now. Nail Yakupov to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins takes a look, fires a shot. Justin Schultz was in front of the cage. McDonough sends it around the board. Schultz turns, throws it towards the net, and Talbot covers up. He had Nugent Hopkins cruising through.
A little bit better buzz here, and it was all on a nice little outlet pass by Hall to Yakupov to get up with speed. And for Justin Schultz, I think he just tried to shoot this puck to the net looking for a redirection. Knew that he had bodies converging through. Talbot does a nice job to hold on to it once it gets to him. But again, pressure. When the Oilers skate, they turn pucks over.
Undrafted 26-year-old, University of Alabama, Huntsville.
Yeah.
He had 25 wins last year for the Connecticut Whale, the AHL affiliate of the New York Rangers.
Pretty impressive, you know, undrafted and just kind of climbed the charts, climbed the ladder, and now is the backup and having a terrific year. 10 wins in the 16 games that he's played.
Henrik Lundqvist, he's the man. He's got 21 victories on the season. He has 11th. And the word is Lundqvist likes back-to-back games, but Alain Vigneault got his way, and Talbot got the start.
Wait a second. He is Canadian, isn't he? Don't you want to tire that Swede out a little bit before he goes over to Sochi? I think Alain Vigneault right now is a little more worried about the Rangers and wanted to get the youngster in there again, give his starting goaltender the night off in a big game versus Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
And he knows that Cam Talbot's going to get a little bit more work after the Olympics because everybody thinks that Sweden's going to go far in the tournament, so Lundqvist will get a lot of work.
This period brought to you by McCain's new 4-meat Rising Crust Pizza. McCain, it's all good.
Nobody has been hotter than that guy coming down the stretch and building up towards the Olympics.
Yeah, he really has. You know, gold in 2006. This will be the third time that he's represented Sweden in the Olympics, and look how he's just continually gotten better as the years gone on. And you know, for Alain Vigneault and the New York Rangers, it kind of goes hand in hand. The team has gotten better, they've gotten healthy, but when this guy, King Henrik, decides to ratchet it up a notch and not allow BBs to go by him, it's pretty hard to get one by him.
And remember, Louis, that when they were putting in new seats and painting this joint, the Rangers were on the road for the first 9 games of the season. They started the year 3-6. They haven't played a road game since January the 18th. Now, technically, January 26th and 29th at Yankee Stadium were road games, but they didn't really have to travel too far. They'll be in Pittsburgh, as Louis mentioned, on Friday, but there's still a period to go here at MSG, and we're all knotted up at 1. 22 seconds into the second period, it is Derek Brassard, Darren, who has tied it up in game 6,000 for the Rangers franchise.
It's time now for the Bud Light Reunion Summer. Thank you very much, Kevin Quinn. Coming up, it's the Trade Tracker dealing with P.A. Parento. John Shannon will join Marty McSorley for that. But up next, the Oilers defenseman tries to explain to me just exactly how you go from a center ice faceoff to pulling the puck out of your net in 22 seconds. That's what happened to start the second period. It's 1-1 on Sportsnet.
Welcome back to New York, and specifically Madison Square Garden, where the Edmonton Oilers continue their game this evening against the New York Rangers. But first, let's tell you about the scoring summaries, which are brought to you by Worley Parsons Court. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers to find your place on our team. Ryan Smith opened up the scoring on the part of the Edmonton Oilers. That was it through 1 and through 2. Only one more goal has been scored, and as a result, these two teams are even through 40 minutes of play. Well, the Edmonton Oilers have been in New York for a couple of days. We talked about it at the opening of our show. So many things you could do. Well, Ryan Smith decided to take part in a TV show as he had a chance, courtesy of receiving some tickets to go see The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Actually, George Clooney was there. That was pretty special. And so was the fact that Ryan actually had a chance, along with his brother Jared and some friends, to get a picture with Jon Stewart after the show. So a great opportunity for the veteran Oiler, which certainly seeing The Daily Show would change someone's daily routine.
And he has a goal, as you saw, 2:56 into the game. He is 8th of the year, the only goal the Oilers have. Derek Brassard, the goal for the Rangers. The Oilers trying to win their 6th game when tied after 40 minutes. Pouliot, nice move around Gagner. Pouliot centering pass. Here's an opportunity right off the hop. And Zuccarello did not get all of that one. They scored 22 seconds into the second period to Derek Brassard.
Guess who? They started this third period too and had a real good chance right off the bat again. And it's Pouliot who had a real good solid 40 minutes with 3 shots on net off the draw. They cycle it and get up in a hurry, and just a little broken play once again. And for Pouliot, he just picks it up with speed, drives wide, nice little move at the blue line. And another opportunity for a one-time, but no one-time on that play. And it allows Scrivens to get over and make that save.
We were joking with Zuccarello this morning about how he plays. As we take a look at Ben Scrivens, we'll get to the Zuccarello story in a second, but there is... there he is.
There he is.
Well, you know what? He's a little guy. He's hard to find. And we were joking about that this morning about, hey, you know, you grew up playing in Norway and now you come to the NHL. How do you survive in the big man's game? And he just kind of went, well, I've always been the smallest guy on the team.
And I asked him about, you know, kind of going after Boyle in practice, 6'6", and a few big guys. And he goes, yeah, if I have to, I'll chop him down as well. Him and Perron got into it in the first period as well. Sorry, the second period, right before that goal.
27 assists, 42 points, leads the team. It's a 1-1 game, and this is Kreider's shot off the stick of Schultz and goes wide. Stepan centers it, and there is Hendricks to play it off the glass and down for Hemsky. Ales Hemsky. Nugent Hopkins backhand. And off the glove again of Cam Talbot. That's a couple of times that Talbot has gone for the glove save, and the puck is popped free.
That was a good backhand by Nugent Hopkins, too. Nice little delay by Hemsky to wait for Hopkins to get there. And then he got some really good wood on that shot, and Talbot had to come up with a big save.
Hall takes it away from Ryan Callahan. Hall leads the team in takeaways. Marincin fires it around the boards. Hall waiting for the far side. But it is Stahl who gets there first. Nugent Hopkins. Marincin fires a shot, and that one gets deflected wide. Hall got his stick in the way. Petrie from the point. Throws it towards the net. That was blocked before it could get through. Another shot by Petrie blocked. Side of the net, there's a backhand by Hall. Nugent Hopkins with it now. Nugent Hopkins from the corner. Trying to work it out in front to Yakupov. Now he'll get it to Hall. Hall takes a look, goes down low for Nugent Hopkins. Turns, and a pad save by Talbot. They dig for the loose puck, and finally the Rangers able to get it out, and it's Carl Hagelin with some speed down the right side. Here comes Hagelin, cutting to the middle, drop pass. Richard's shot goes wide. A bouncing puck is picked up there by Callahan. Richards with it now, turns and throws a sneaky little shot onto Scrivens. Off the pad, and he'll cover it up.
Was it ever? Nice little wraparound there by Richards. Good shift by the top line of Edmonton here. Hall, Nugent Hopkins, and Yakupov. Watch the chip off the glass by Hendricks leads to this offensive rush. Hemsky looking for the gate, but finds a streaking Nugent Hopkins before he goes off. They're able to keep that puck in the offensive zone for a while. 2 or 3 real good opportunities with some hard work down low. That line, Kevin, has gotten better as this game's gone on.
Boyd Gordon wins the draw the old-fashioned way. They earned that one. He is the 6th best face-off man in the NHL. And a heavy workload for number 27. 10th in the league in draws taken. And he's moved up to 9th. Hendricks leaves it there. Boyd Gordon can't get it in, and it's brought back in by Zuccarello, and he takes an elbow from Ryan Jones. As play continues, just 1 power play in this game, and the Oilers have it. Ferretz for Jones. Jones against Pouliot. Now he's given a bump there by John Moore. Jones back to the point. Schultz, good job to keep it in. Schultz dishes to Jones, but it's late, and here comes Moore across the blue line. Drop pass. Jones defensively got there ahead of Carcillo. Nick Schultz to Gazdic. Gazdic backhands it in as the fourth line is going to make a change. That is after Gazdic runs into Girardi. Boyle gets to the red line. He will dump it in. Nick Schultz takes a look. He had Dominic Moore all over him. Perron, his pass intercepted. But look at Sam Gagner break it up. Brought back in by Ryan McDonough. And an interception by Schultz will get it to Eberle. He's got Perron with him. Eberle, drop pass for Gagner. Throws it towards the net. Talbot makes the save with Perron on the doorstep.
Luxury performance just took on a whole new meaning. Cruise your way to family fun on a 2014 Manitou pontoon boat from Martin Motorsports.
Louis, a couple of undrafted college players going head-to-head in the nets. Cam Talbot, as we mentioned, University of Alabama, Huntsville. He is 3-2 in his last 5 games, and the understudy for Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, doing a real nice job of stepping in there when he gets the opportunity as well. Plays one of those poised, calm games for a 6'3" guy. Has the ability to take up a lot of the net, but also has the reflexes to make saves when he needs to.
Came in with a 1.78 goals against average. Ben Scrivens, #1 in save percentage, .935, and he was 4th in goals against at .203. Yakupov has to wait for Hall and Nugent-Hopkins to clear the zone, so he'll play it back to Marincin, and he'll give it to Petrie. Jeff Petrie. Nugent-Hopkins tips it in. Talbot waits for it slowly to arrive, then sends it around the boards. And starting away is Mark Stahl. Pass for Nash. Snaps that one right on to Scrivens. 26 shots for the Rangers, 25 for the Oilers. Hall can't get it out. There is Richards' a shot. Brad Richards stopped and the Oilers come back the other way. Yakupov and Hall. Taylor Hall drops it for Yakupov. Yakupov gives it back to Hall. Hall stopped by Dan Girardi. Hall trying to center it. Couple of opportunities. Instead goes behind the net for Nugent-Hopkins. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins checked by Dan Girardi. Now give away Yakupov. Sharp angle shot, and there's Talbot to make the save. No rebound.
Another good shift by this line again. Just maybe a couple of times just trying to force the play a little bit too much as Talbot makes that save on Yakupov. But I like the fact that this line has been getting pucks in deep. They're establishing the cycle, and you can see the battle level down low. The New York Rangers, they make it tough on you, treading water down there. But if you stay in the battle, stay in the hunt for the puck, you see Yakupov come up with it, get a quick shot on net, and no rebound to be had from Talbot. But I like that shift again by that line.
Gagner wins the draw. He's out there with Perron and Eberle. Gagner with Ferentz going to the front of the net. Gagner back at the blue line. Unorthodox try to keep the puck in and couldn't quite do it.
Thought about using the stick, and then at the last second got the skate down on that bouncing puck here on the MSG ice. And it was pretty close. Almost looks like it stays in, but right there you can see it go off the right skate, left skate. And not bad skate work there actually by Gagner to try and keep that one in.
He'll line up against Eric Brassard. The faceoff just outside. The Rangers blue line wins it. Fraser hammers the puck in. John McDonough with 14:34 to go in regulation time. The first of 2 meetings between these two squads. An opportunity for Pouliot, and a good defensive play there by the captain, Andrew Ferentz.
That was a great stick.
Quick up for Eberle. He is checked by McDonough. Gagner carries on, sends it around the boards. Ferentz waiting for it there. Fraser's back at the point as he throws it towards the net. Gagner with it now. Zuccarello on him. Sam Gagner for Perron. Perron cycles for Eberle. Eberle looking for Perron. And he was checked before he could get to the net by Zuccarello. Eberle checked by Girardi. Girardi around the boards. Ferentz pinching. And the Oilers' second line with some pressure. Zuccarello off the boards for Pouliot. Pouliot sweeps it in. They want to get a line change in, and will.
And you're right, Kevin. A good shift again just from not giving the puck away up against what I believe has been the best line for the Rangers. With Brassard, Zuccarello really buzzing around for them. And Pouliot on the left-hand side.
See if the third line can keep that momentum going. Hendricks with Gordon and Hemsky. Matt Hendricks working along the boards as the puck comes out to center, and it's sent back in by the Olympian Ales Hemsky. Stepan. And upside call as we'll take a break. Rogers Oilers hockey from here in New York.
The Flatiron Building on 23rd and Broadway. Not something you see every game, but this is something you see every game. Shop and swipe your club card at Safeway. Today, watch future Sportsnet telecast. You could win a week of unlimited luxury at Dreams Resorts and Spas, courtesy of redtag.ca. Shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner.
Now, Party City, Louis, I don't think so for the Edmonton Oilers through 40 minutes. It's been a good fight between these two teams, just 2 goals. Ryan Smith scoring in the first period, Derek Brassard in the second.
You know, you look at the Rangers coming into this game tonight, Kevin, 15-5-1 in their last 21 games. They've really dialed it up a notch, found their game, their consistency. So for Edmonton coming in here and putting up a good fight here, they've climbed back up in the shots, 26 now on the night for Edmonton, 27 for the Rangers. So these are the kind of games for Dallas Eakins he likes to see his team in. Close games, tough battle, stay in the fight right to the end.
Rangers on a season-high 4-game winning streak. The Oilers 4-1 in their last 5. Richards drops for Hagelin, steps into a shot, and he whistled that one wide. Girardi keeps it in. Nail Yakupov for Hall. Hall checked by Carl Hagelin. They hit that with a high stick. The Oilers carry on. Justin Schultz going wide, throws it to the middle. And checked there by Girardi was Nugent Hopkins. Yakupov, wrist shot. Albert the save. Schultz on the far side. Slap pass intended for Hall. Yakupov lays it to the corner. It's picked up there by Girardi as the Oilers want to make a change on their blue line, and they will. John McDonough gets to the red line. He will send that puck around the boards. Ryan Smith waiting for it there.
I like the fact that Nail Yakupov has found a little bit of legs here in this game, playing with Hall and Nugent Hopkins. It's allowed him to kind of freewheel a little bit. The good defensive two-way game of Nugent Hopkins gives Hall and Yakupov that ability to kind of take off.
Nail Yakupov, another goal in his last 4, but he has still been producing an assist in the game against Buffalo. 4 points in his last 5 games. Fourth line is on the ice now. Gazdic with Jones and Smith. Zuccarello. Anton Stralman. He'll dish off. Derek Brassard. Down low it goes. Pouliot checked by Smith. Stahl. And thought about jumping up. Now he's there to check Ryan Jones. As Smith outlets for Gazdic. Marincin gets to the red line, dumps it in. Everybody's going to change. 11 minutes, 14 seconds left to go here in the third period. The Oilers previously involved in 21 one-goal games. And as Louis mentioned, the coach looking at the model of the Boston Bruins, who are comfortable playing when the game is close and waiting for opportunities. And the Oilers doing that right now. The shots are even at 27 apiece.
And you know, we've heard him mention many times, Kevin, that is Dallas Eakins about it. Might happen in the 59th minute. Stay in the fight, stay in the battle, and don't push the issue too much, because against good teams, they'll make you pay if you're making unwise decisions with the puck.
Here's a giveaway. Boyle moving in, snaps a shot, Scrivens a save, and the rebound cleared away from Dominic Moore. Boyle with it now. Boyle. Big body, tough to handle, and a good job there by Sam Gagner.
Way to keep his feet moving.
On the far side, Dominic Moore with it now. Down low for Nash. Schultz gets there, but Nash has the puck. Gets a little help from Gagner. Dominic Moore plays it back to the point. Girardi steps into a shot, and that one whistles wide. McDonough's shot. That one stopped by Scrivens. And the Oilers want to relieve the pressure, but nobody can change. It'll be icing against Edmonton.
It was a tale of 2 tapes. You know, we talked about good plays in the service in the defensive zone. Watch Jeff Petrie here as he closes very quickly on Matt Zuccarello, who's been a real thorn in the side of Edmonton tonight. Allows Smith to come in, support. Little chip to the boards. Good support again by Ryan Jones. Back to Smith again. It's out of the zone. Here's the bad play. Little giveaway inside the line. Leads to 1 shot, 2 chances again. It's Scrivens that has to come up with a couple big saves, and then an icing call that leads to a face-off in the defensive zone. A tired bunch and a timeout called by Dallas Eakins. So you see them both. They can go one way for it, and the other one can potentially lead to some trouble.
There There is 9:57 to go in the third period as we take a look at the game review brought to you by The Brick. Nobody beats The Brick for furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs.
Well, as we talked about, the 6,000th game in franchise history for the New York Rangers tonight, and Ryan Smith gets his 308th. We thought he was in the top 100, but he's 101st now as Patrick Elias has climbed up there, and only 2 penalty minutes in this game tonight. It's been a pretty quiet affair, very civil. Both teams battling hard, but keeping their sticks on the ice.
We'll see Patrick Elias tomorrow night in New Jersey, along with Jaromir Jagr, who just refuses to get old.
So I threw Gene a suicide pass with that top 100. He tweeted it out and somebody corrected him. So thank you to that tweeter for helping us out in the stats department.
And letting Gene take the fall.
I'll take the fall. That was me. I threw it out there.
Stahl keeps it in. Behind the net it goes. Derek Stepan checked. Nash going over against Perron. Gets it to Stepan. Fighter sees it go by him. Comes to the near side. Jordan Eberle. Pass for Gagne. Hopped over his stick. Strallman got to it. Eberle gets it back and he'll bring it in. Eberle snaps a shot and Talbot has to cover up. The puck is still alive. Now the whistle goes. And everybody wondering why the whistle was blown when it was, or why the whistle wasn't blown earlier. But in the end, the play is dead, and we're going to take a break. Rogers Oilers hockey, right here on Sportsnet. Outstanding play, outstanding results. Brought to you by RE/MAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results.
It's in the second period. It was a great save by Ben Scrivens, short-handed, as Ryan Callahan takes off to the races and makes a nice move to go to the forehand. But Scrivens, watch the last effort here, the left pad to stick it out, jam it down, and deny Callahan on the doorstep to keep it a 1-1 game. And Ryan Callahan was a physical guy in those first 2 periods as well, Kevin. 7 hits coming into this third period, so playing a complete game as he usually does.
Rangers with 27 hits. Hagelin keeps it in at the blue line. Hagelin circles the net, tries the wraparound. Scrivens there to stop it. Mark Stahl turns, fires it towards the net, through traffic. Callahan banging away, and it brought the ire of Scrivens, as Scrivens had made the save. And then Callahan gave him a whack, looking to dislodge the puck.
We just talked about him getting in the grill and being a physical presence tonight. He did have a couple little chips here at Ben Scrivens who didn't like it, and I like the response here by Petrie and Nugent Hopkins especially, who really didn't take kindly to it afterwards. But again, a little turnover, the puck doesn't get out of the zone. Look at that little jam there, and it might have been into Yakupov's skates, not Scrivens. But both guys come in and separate Callahan from the goaltender. A little stare down afterwards by Callahan to say, hey, I got your number.
37 saves for Ben Scrivens the last time he was here. And he has made 30 saves so far in this one. That is just over 9 minutes left in regulation time. Jan Moore back into his own zone. He'll give it to Kevin Klein. Chipped in. Schultz going after it. Look at Brassard. Gets there first. Gives him a hit. Schultz sends it around the boards. That is Justin Schultz for Hemsky. Ales Hemsky. He'll go cross ice. Ryan Smith sweeps it towards the middle and then gets the puck right back again. Trying to find Hemsky up the center. Hemsky got it in his skates and then played it behind the net. Klein stripped, and a shot there by Hendricks, and a great save by Talbot on a good setup from Ryan Smith.
I really like the way Matt Hendricks has played in this game as well. Scored the game-winning goal last game versus Buffalo short-handed, but he's been a physical presence again in this one here. He's had a couple sniffs in the slot, and it's all stems from, again, a good forecheck. Ryan Smith does a dandy job to get in there, steal the puck right away, puts it out to Hendricks, who he knows is going to be in the slot area. He gets a good shot away, and credit Cam Talbot with a real good save in tight.
29 shots for the Oilers. Nail Yakupov leaves everybody in an Oiler uniform. He's got 5 shots so far in this game. Bring it outside the line with 8:25 left to go in the third.
You can see how quick the Rangers attack there as that puck was bouncing, but it was Kreider again that gets in aggressive. It reminds me a lot of Eric Cole in his younger days. Kreider does. The big body, can really get the Pistons going, and has the hands at high speeds to make plays.
He is tied for 5th among rookies in points and 5th in goals. A first-round draft pick in 2009.
Now, I was kind of surprised to see that he was 6'3", 226 pounds, but now seeing him in real life, He's a big boy.
He's got the puck right now. Petrie separates him from the disc as Nash and Yakupov do battle in the corner. Good job by Yakupov. Stays with it, knocks the big man down.
Good battle.
Hall to Marincin off his skate. Ends up behind the net. Ryan McDonough sends it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Ryan Callahan. Quick pass up for Stepan off his stick. And Marincin calmly gets it to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who shoots it in. And then he is going to head off as the second line steps on the ice for the Oilers. Perron, Eberle, and Gagne. Callahan across the blue line. He's got Hagelin going to the front of the net. He's standing right there with a backhand. It goes straight up in the air as Scrivens makes a huge save. Callahan to the middle it goes, right with a shot to stall, and there is Scrivens again to steer it aside. Callahan spins, plays it to the middle. Hagelin this time is all tied up there by Justin Schultz.
A big hit by Callahan afterwards. What a shift for him.
29, now 30 hits for the New York Rangers to 21 for the Oilers.
And you talked about battling this against the big customer in Rick Nash, as Yakupov just kind of keeps his hands and feet going and poking at the puck, spinning around, using his strength to get that puck loose. And then here's Callahan. Again, the last ensuing play going down the ice. Nice little move to take it to the middle, dish it towards the net, and then finishes a real hard check afterwards on Andrew Ference.
10 shots for the Rangers in this third period to 8. Now a wraparound attempt by Brassard is denied, but it comes back to the point. Anton Stralman. He'll play it behind the net. Brassard is there. He's got Pouliot out in front. Derek Brassard pushed on there by the captain. Kept in by Stralman. Here is Zuccarello. Hops over his stick. Brassard gets it to him. Snaps a shot that hits the side of the net. Pouliot there. Checked by Schultz. Schultz sends it around the boards. Hendricks sees it go by him. And the Rangers are going to have to clear the zone with under 6.5 minutes to go in regulation time. Ryan Smith, the goal scorer for the Oilers, sends the puck around the boards. Hemsky and Hendricks join him. Here is Smith. Smith to Hendricks. Tripped up by Dominic Moore. Moore checked there by Ryan Smith. The puck comes free. Hendricks, good job to get it back to the point to Marincin, but he had a little trouble at the blue line. And the Oilers will have to regroup. Petrie will give it right back to Marincin. There's something wrong with his skate. Here's Dominic Moore behind the net. Turns, throws it in front, and it's blocked by Marincin. Ryan Smith around the boards for Petrie. And Petrie plays it off the glass and gets that puck down the ice.
You know, Kevin, sometimes that's the best play when you're in trouble. Put it off the glass, get it out of harm's way. Those little turnovers in the defensive zone add up and wear you down. You saw Petrie there just want to get it out, get a change, get some fresh legs on the ice.
Taylor Hall got knocked down by Nash. Nugent-Hopkins gets it to Yakupov, and he snapped the shot that Talbot makes the save on. Rogers Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet. Play the game is brought to you by Rogers, bringing fans the fastest speeds in more places. Rogers LTE.
Well, it was back in the first period, and it was Ryan Smith's 384th goal that put him 101 all-time in goals scored. And it wasn't the prettiest one, but it was a nice one because it was a crash to the net. Stay with it. As it was Perron with the first shot, Smith jams it home. You see the celebration afterwards. That gave Edmonton the 1-0 lead. It's 1-1 now on a goal by Derek Brassard to tie it up in the second period. So far through this third period, no goals scored for either team.
And we'll go into the trivia books. Who scored the first goal in the Rangers' 6,000th game in the National Hockey League?
Hey, there you go.
Just a little bit over 5 minutes left to go in regulation time. Eberle will play it to Marincin. Martin Marincin, as Nash watching him as he sends it around the boards. Right to David Perron. Finds Petrie. Petrie. Nice move around Stepan. Checked there by Nash. And his D partner Marincin retreats back into his own zone, and he'll give it to number 2. Jeff Petrie gets checked there by Stepan. Bringing it in. Callahan moving in. Goes upstairs, but he went up too high and put it over top of the net.
Just getting a little too cute with the puck in the defensive zone. Edmonton, it was Petrie just tried to hold on to that a little bit too long. Good pressure by Stepan to stay with him, create the turnover, and for the Rangers, they've done this all night, especially right on the lines. You see Callahan kind of pounce down that loose puck, makes a nice move. Looks like he has shelf on the shorthand side, but a good job by Scrivens to stay with him. Ryan Callahan has been all over it tonight. 2 goals and assists last game versus Colorado. He's carried that right forward into this game. Hasn't been rewarded, Kevin, on the score sheet, but he's been a factor.
He is a 3-time 20-goal scorer. High watermark was the 2011-2012 season. He put up 29 goals. Yakupov goes cross ice for Hall. Hall against Anton Strawman. Round to the near side it comes. Carl Hagelin will give it to Callahan. Back to Hagelin. Hagelin goes to the middle, a bouncing puck. Richards can't get it settled down. Callahan can. Lets his shot go, and he missed on the far side this time. Too high the first time. He went glove side and missed the target.
Maybe a little too much time there to see where he wanted to shoot. That one be too precise instead of just getting it away.
34 shots for the Rangers, 30 for the Oilers. Up the middle for Derek Brassard. Brassard across the blue line, winds, fires a blast off the glove of Ben Scrivens. Shot right back in by Matt Zuccarello. Scrivens leaves it there for Nick Schultz. Schultz to Hemsky. Hemsky gets stopped by Zuccarello, and bringing it back in is John Moore.
Just playing with fire Edmonton right now, just giving it back to the Rangers and continually having to go back into their zone and pick it up. And good job by the Rangers, just trapping Edmonton, pushing them to the outside, denying them from carrying that puck up the ice. Another turnover right there.
Pouliot brings it back in. Benoit Pouliot. Derek Stepan. Nash looking for it. He's not going to get it. Hemsky on the far side. Now it is Perron who plays it off the boards and gets it to center. The Rangers get it right back. Ryan McDonough. Stepan throws it in. Scrivens will play it himself. Gagne to Perron. He's got Eberle with him. Perron chips it in, chases it himself against Girardi. Perron looking for it as well as it comes loose, and Kreider gets it to Stepan. He'll backhand it down the ice, and a good play there by Ferentz to prevent that puck from getting to Rick Nash. Schultz wheels away. Eberle, touch pass for Gagne. Hall flying after it. Eberle back up top. Here's Marincin. Marincin to the point it goes. Schultz throws it towards Marincin, but it was broken up by Kreider. The Oilers, though, get possession back. Jordan Eberle to the corner. Gagne going after it. McDonough watching him. Gagne throws it in behind the net. Taylor Hall takes a look. Hall against Brad Richards. Richards goes down. Gagne with the puck. Centering. Yakupov steps in with a shot and he scores. Nail Yakupov. The Oilers have a 2-1 lead on a bullet drive by Nail Yakupov.
And boy, what a pass by Sam Gagne here, the no-looker. We talked about grinding it out down low all night long, and that's exactly what this line does. They will not take no for an answer. Taylor Hall just was a beast on this play. He was the guy initially that gets in the forecheck. There's the no-looker on the backhand right there by Gagne, tape to tape. After that hard work by Taylor Hall to get it to Gagne here. Nice little chip there right on the tape. Nail Yakupov winds up and zips it home for a 2-1 lead.
And for Nail Yakupov, his 11th goal of the season and first in his last 5 games. And it comes at a critical time. 18:22 of the third period. The Oilers get the lead back. A lead they had through the first period. And now we'll try and get it home. With a minute 15, Talbot goes to the bench. 6 attackers for the Oilers. Girardi shot through traffic. Pouliot with it now. His backhand is stopped. Schultz trying to get it out. Justin Schultz, another opportunity. Zuccarello keeps it in. 6 attackers on the ice now for the Rangers. Less than a minute to go. Side of the net. Zuccarello stopped. Long shot. Empty net. And that misses. And icing the call with 48 even. Carolyn Locke of Sherwood Park entered the score and win contest and has won a DVD prize pack from E1 courtesy of Safeway and Post Cereal Shreddies thanks to Nail Yakupov, and Nail Yakupov's 11th goal of the season. .48 seconds even left to go in this one. The Rangers riding a 4-game winning streak. Taylor Hall, the assist gives him 200 points for his career. An opportunity to get a win in New York. McDonough throws it towards the net, stopped by Justin Schultz. Backhanded down the ice by Hendricks. He's hoping he's got draw weight on it, and he does. 28 seconds to go. Nash throws it towards the cage. Straight up in the air it goes. A bouncing puck in front. Hall puts it behind the net. Callahan tries to center it, can't do it. Nash against Hall. Hall to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins now to Perron. David Perron with an open net. Slowly going towards the cage, and it just misses. And an icing call. 9.6 seconds left to go in regulation time.
And a good battle again down low. The Rangers putting on all the pressure here, all the big guys on the ice. You can see Nash huffing and puffing a little bit there. Very physical shift. And another acrobatic save by Scrivens. A timeout being called here by the New York Rangers to try and just muster up one last chance with 9.6 seconds. But the work down low by Edmonton. Good job again by Hall, who's really dialed it in the last couple of shifts here. Gets the puck up, they get it out and almost put it into the open net to seal the deal, but it just misses wide.
The Oilers trying to win in this building for the first time since November 2008.
And it's been a dogfight, no question about that. Both teams have had their chances. 36 shots for the Rangers, 31 for the Oilers. A department they've gotten much better at. After only 8 through the first 20 minutes, they had 13 in the second, and now have continued to keep that shot process going into this third period with a total of 31 now, looking to hold on here with 9.6 seconds left.
Brad Richards against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. 9.6 seconds on the clock from the faceoff. Perron dives for it. And then Nugent-Hopkins gets it down the ice. The Edmonton Oilers and Ben Scrivens defeat the New York Rangers in their 6,000th game in the NHL, the final 2-1.
Real solid effort here by the whole team of Edmonton to stay in this fight, stay in the battle. They had the 1-0 lead. Brassard tied it in the second. 1-1. It stayed that way until the late goal by Nail Yakupov. 2-1. Ben Scrivens once again has given up 1 or less goals in 3 of his last 4 games.